Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talked about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team...
Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And a glance here at their shifty mobile signal caller.
And if you go by the numbers, he's had a Pro Bowl-type season. And maybe that's even selling him a little bit short. He's the NFL leader in touchdown passes to this point in the year. And with the end of the season not too far away, he's got his guys playing at a very high level.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. A look at the numbers for Harrison last week's game. 17 carries, 67 yards, and a touchdown.
Well, we know they've clinched a playoff spot, but there's plenty of football left to play. And I'm a proponent of continuing to do what you've done throughout the season, especially with teams that are heavy run teams. Because if you throttle back too early...
And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. But just 2 plays in, and Charles already their first sack defensively.
Yeah, how about that? That didn't take long, did it? And now they look at third down, and that's another time to try and go and get the quarterback too.
I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Back to throw. McKay. Over the middle, complete. It's Mills. And he'll be brought down at the 34, well short of the first down marker. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down. So they bring out their punter. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And a glance here at the veteran who will be leading them. Now in his 8th year in the NFL.
And there was a positive in last week's loss. No interceptions thrown by him. But he only threw 1 touchdown pass, and you know he wants that to improve. He might even consider that as part of the reason that they couldn't take the win last time out. I believe we'll see a more aggressive version of him this week whenever they're nearing the end zone.
The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. They'll keep it on the ground. Woodson. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for. One of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Pressure comes, and down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. A 3rd and long, you knew that he was going to throw it. He just couldn't find anybody to throw it to.
Yeah, and it shouldn't have been a surprise, but that was perfect execution of their nickel defense. That 5th defensive back, the extra defender, he really tightened up things downfield in coverage, and they were able to get to him in the pocket.
On 4th down, Ryan Stonehouse on the punt. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they, if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact, I mentioned it, and I upset them a little bit, didn't I? Because they wanted no part of that one, and I was reminded, like a 5-year-old, this is the NFL. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. They're guarding against the upset.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down. They'll try the right side with Harris. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Well, partner, this offense 12-0 now on the year following their latest victory. And during the week, a lot of folks making comparisons between this squad and the 1985 Bears. You know, they too were 12-0 at this juncture of the season before losing on a Monday night 38-24 to the Dolphins at the Orange Bowl way back on December 2nd of 85. But then they never lose again en route to winning Super Bowl 20.
And when you look back on it, partner, didn't it almost feel like a setup game? Because they were playing the Dolphins, and the Dolphins were protecting their franchise's undefeated season of 1972, that team. And you know what that team does. They love to celebrate the fact that they still are the only one to get through an entire NFL season that way. That was Dan Marino's 3rd year, playing under the great Don Shula, and they were motivated to keep that franchise's record intact.
Even though they didn't get it, probably the right call. Too long for a field goal and just not a whole lot to gain from a punt there.
Yeah, you wouldn't have really netted very much yardage if you pumped the ball, right? And the thing about a field goal, and you know this from so much experience, the longer the field goal, the lower it comes out off the kick, right? Which means it's got a better chance of being blocked. So you're taking a chance either way. I like the fact they went for it.
They'll keep it on the ground. Woodson, and he'll get it out to midfield. Yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. They'll run on first down. Woodson, and he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. They'll send a receiver in motion left. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Complete to Johnston here. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. 11 yards there. First down. Now a handoff up the middle. Woodson, and he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
2nd and 5. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
It's a gain of 10. Results in a first down.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive. Now 2nd and 3. And they'll send the tight end in motion. 2nd and 3. Right side, he has Johnston. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15. A gain of 3. So 3rd and inches, and this will be the 9th play of the drive. Up the middle they go. Woodson. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Looking to throw. Johnston. And he's got his man in stride. Complete. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And it's 2nd down. Operating from the gun. Johnston. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17.
Multiple defenders getting home there for a loss of 11.
All about the offense so far this drive, putting something sustained together. But the defense, they responded on that play. Second and manageable became third and long. The drive marching to the end zone is one play from stalling out.
A tough spot here. 3rd and 15.
Operating from the gun, Johnston. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to him.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again.
On for the field goal now is Evan McPherson.
This from 44 yards out, left hash.
McPherson's kick is good.
And that'll make it 3-0 here in the first.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive.
They're coming off a 4th down gamble that last drive that backfired, CD, but really not as badly as it could. Their defense held up and only gave up 3 points.
And what they want to do is play off the momentum the defense gave them. Only giving up the 3 points in that situation after they failed on 4th down. Now they want to make it pay off. They want to pay homage to the defense and have their own drive pay off in points for themselves.
Second quarter now, and it's our home team with possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Off the play fake. McKay got a man, and he hits him in stride. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
2nd down and a little more than a yard here.
At the 46-yard line.
Harris running straight ahead. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
1st down, and they go back to Harris. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
But no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here.
He's got his man. That's Woods on the out route.
And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
Back to throw. McKay, and he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. 3 yards is the gain that time. 2nd and goal.
A gain of 3 brings up 2nd and goal at the 4-yard line.
Looking to throw. McKay. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up.
Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break.
Following the sack, they go from the 13 on 3rd and goal. Back to throw. McKay. And it's caught. Touchdown. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And his guys have taken the lead.
Well, that's what I call an answer right there. They gave up a sack on the previous play. How about what they did to finish things off, turning it right back around?
That's the response, and that O-line feels a lot better now, don't they?
Yeah, without a doubt, because give up the sack on the previous play, that just hurts those guys because they never want to see their guy get hit.
Extra point right down the middle, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. So that drive takes them down the field in 8 plays. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
And he'll earn a couple of tough yards past the 30 to the 31.
The offense on third down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Looking to throw. Johnston able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
All right, let's just go ahead and walk through this one pretty easily, right? Blast off the line of scrimmage, get downfield to a certain point, usually around 8 to 10 yards, turn around and make sure the quarterback sees your numbers and set yourself up for the pass.
A well-executed curl route by Charles Davis. They'll look to throw now on first down. Throw left side complete. That's Johnston. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. They'll look to throw here on first down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 10 more there and another first down.
Results in a first down.
Off play action. Johnston got his man complete over the middle. That's Martin. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Now a handoff up the middle. Woodson, and he will take this one in for a touchdown. A great effort there. His 3rd rushing touchdown on the year. And his guys are going to retake the lead. A strong, determined run there, Charles, to get in for 6 points.
This is why it's such a team game, isn't it? And I know it sounds really generic and it sounds almost trite, but the blocks were made up front, offensive line, collective victory at the line of scrimmage and downfield. And how about the finish to the run all the way into the end zone?
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead is now 10-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The home team's offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. He had the touchdown pass earlier, adding to his impressive season total as you take a look at the NFL leaders in touchdown passes at this point in the season. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. 3rd and 2.
Back to throw. McKay. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. Back to throw now on first down.
Looking for Woods again, and he finds him.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot. Again, he'll drop to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. His first catch, good for 8 and a first down.
First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Back to throw again. Over the middle, the catch made by Mitchell.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Here's 2nd and 5 now from the 37.
They'll look to throw again. Dancing to his left. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up.
While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Up the middle they go. Woody. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Left side, that's caught by Mitchell. Just a gain of a couple there. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
From the gun on 3rd down. McKay work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it.
Looking for the out route. He's got his man. It's Mitchell.
It's so close. He gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. So it's 1st and goal, and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break.
Harris diving for the end zone, and he'll get there. Touchdown.
Sometimes offenses can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is now 14-10. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And now this offense comes back out onto the field.
And looking at this situation, Charles, you got more than a minute. You've got all 3 timeouts. Probably no need to play this safe.
So what you're saying is that we're doing a little bit of a mind meld here, aren't we? Because I'm thinking along the same lines as you. This amount of time, don't be compelled to play it too safe. This is a chance to get points on the board. Press it a little bit.
Yeah, especially since a touchdown here gets you the lead.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He finds his man complete. It's Shepard. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
Well, as my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
And that's to the left sideline and incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now.
That play call wasn't there for them against that coverage. So they're going to spin the dial now in their playbook and come up with one more shot at the marker to try and keep this series going.
From the gun on third down, Johnston. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. Well, that's a perfect example of how he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's game. He is just all around the football right now, isn't he?
That he is, and it's funny because I talked with the coaching staff about drills that they do in practice, and one of them is called matching hands. And as soon as that hand is launched by the quarterback, you throw up the opposite hand and match that hand with the QB, and oftentimes you're able to knock it away, as we just saw there.
So, yes, they'll still be down going into intermission, but the deficit is now made even smaller, very manageable.
Yeah, and if nothing haywire happens here in his last couple of precious seconds, they will go into the locker room with a nice bounce in their step, having gotten a little bit closer on the scoreboard.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Throwing to start the drive, McKay. So a very tight first half. We had to break in a 1-point game. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL.
All right, we'll bypass the halftime show in favor of returning to this late season game with the teams coming back from the locker rooms here a bit early.
And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. This offense ready to go to begin this third quarter. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. And what's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running.
That one out wide and intercepted.
And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. That one is going to sting. First play of the third quarter and a turnover.
And you have to know that at halftime, they spent a lot of time going through their checklist of what they wanted to accomplish to start this third quarter. Turning it over like this was not on that list.
Not at all. And you come out of the locker room trailing, so that first drive to establish momentum is very key.
Crucial.
The home team's offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he's putting together a remarkable season. Currently the NFL's leader in passing yards as we play here in the month of December.
On first down, Woody.
He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4 on second down.
Nice chunk of yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on second. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
On the move, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to him. This defense coming out after the half, and if that plays any indicator, Charles, maybe a little refreshed and refocused here for quarters 3 and 4.
Yeah, they did really well on that one. That's exactly what they need to keep doing if they want to change their fortunes in this game.
Now they'll work with 4 receivers here on 3rd down and long.
Operating from the gun, McKay. That is caught. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the 3rd downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the 3rd quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
Looking to throw. McKay. And he's got it. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Point after here coming up. And with that, the lead is up to 8. So that drive, 4 plays. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Back to throw. Johnston.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Now inside the 25.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
So that a real wrench thrown in now for this offense. They're trying to make a game of this in the 3rd quarter, but that is not going to help.
Yeah, partner, probably should have used a different tool on that play, right? That ultimately is the kind of play where you can lose a ball game instead of being in a position to win.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And the lead is up to 15 now. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The visitors' offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And it's been a rough night at the office for him. He's been more of a liability than an asset throughout the contest. And this offense is having a hard time overcoming his struggles to this point.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
Pickens going in motion left.
2nd and 1.
That's going to be caught by Pickens.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 15 yards there on the play as they try to chip away at this 15-point deficit. Operating from the gun, Johnston. Finding Pickens for another catch. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. That'll give him 8 that time, and it'll be second in a couple. Looking to throw, Johnston. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Off the play fake, Johnston. Throw left side, hauled in by Pickens. And he's brought down, but following a pretty juke move that gives him the first down. Operating from the gun, Johnston. He hits blue. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. And 15 yards there on the catch and run.
I tell you what, it looks like he's shaking off that pick six just fine. It's not just defensive backs that have short memories. Quarterbacks utilize that as well. A much more confident throw right there.
They go play action here on first down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. Off play action. Johnston. Blitz coming, and down he goes. They get him that time thanks to the safety blitz as he's safe for a loss of 4. 9th play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. Back to throw. Johnston. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted.
Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
So now out comes this offense, led by their quarterback as they take over once more. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Over the middle, complete. It's Mills. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
That is first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. They hand this off to Harris, and he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. They run again with Harris.
And he's fortunate to get anything from that. Give him a yard up to the 49.
In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
He finds his man, complete. That's Mills. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. All told, they get 13 yards on that play.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
They'll run on first down. Woody. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
Looking to throw. McKay. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd. So 3rd down. They need to get to the 28 for a first. Back to throw. McKay. Going right side here, and that's complete. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. 11 more yards there, and this methodical drive continues.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go in.
Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there.
And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
So a potential momentum shifter there, working with a 2-score lead, 3rd quarter, but that, not the smartest of throws.
I would agree with you on that one, because this game is still very much in the balance. It felt pretty one-sided to this point, but now, if these guys can turn this turnover into points, things could start getting a little more interesting.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field.
They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports, as we are set to bring you the home stretch here, the 4th quarter. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41.
50 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. From the 41, here's a 2nd and 4.
Operating from the gun, Johnston. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. In motion left goes a tight end. Operating from the gun, Johnston. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Looking to throw. Johnston.
He finds Pickens over the middle.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down.
Good yardage on the completion there, and when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score, because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
Back to throw. Johnston firing quickly here, and that's complete. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up.
The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. 2nd down and 4.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. 2nd and 4.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
On for the field goal now is Evan McPherson.
From the right hash, this from 53. That's leaking to the right, and he missed it by a foot or two. It's no good, and the deficit will hold at 15.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it, and this one winds up no good.
The Rio offense about to set up shop once again. And as we look back at how we got here, you'll notice a common theme in these highlights. A lot of yardage through the air. The passing game has been sharp right from the outset.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
2nd and 3 at the 49-yard line.
Looking to throw. McKay, and he slings one that's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Off the bootleg. McKay. And he's got his man in stride. Complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. That'll go as a pickup of 8. Back to throw. McKay. And he will find his man on the outside. So the completion good for 6 yards. And it's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 36-yard line.
Looking to throw. McKay looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Mills. He's brought down to the red zone at the 18 after a gain of 18. 1st and 10.
Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the 4th quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think he continued to do so.
Yeah, boy, the strength on display there as he rumbles through tacklers for a gain of about 8. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Sometimes I think these defensive tackles get a little bit of a bum rap. We just see them as big guys that eat up blockers for others to make tackles. Oftentimes they're quicker than they get credit for. And this time he uses quickness to make a play.
Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield in man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw.
And it's caught. Touchdown. From 8 yards out. And his guys are going to add on to their lead.
And he continues to be a focal point of this offense. That's now 10 touchdown catches for him on the year.
Extra point forthcoming. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. A CD after this game, there will be 4 weeks left in the regular season. So this is far from the final version of what we'll see come January, more of a first draft, if you will, as all these teams fight for a better position.
And you pointed it out so accurately there, Brandon. After this game, 4 weeks left in the regular season, and then the playoffs officially begin. But for some teams, trying to fight to make it to the playoffs, they're actually in a playoff push right now.
On the out route, he finds Johnston.
You got the big lead defensively, willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Here's a 2nd and 7.
He's got another one to Johnston.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Now they'll throw here out of the gun.
Complete to Johnston here.
Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Finds Johnston.
2 yards, good enough for a first. Back to throw. Johnston. Touchdown!
George Pickens
from 21 yards away. And his guys are able to cut into that deficit.
The 4th quarter touchdown there, back to a 2-score game, but time is not their ally.
No, it's not, partner. They still have a pulse, but it's probably a little weak right now. A lot of things have to go right in these final 2 minutes plus for them.
And now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is. So tried to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
Yeah, got home, which means there had to be good coverage. Just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, you try and throw quick hitters, quick slants, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And it looks like this one won't work out. Hands team able to secure the football. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. Now a first down carry for Harris.
And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line.
Call that a gain of 11.
And what a tough spot for this defense because they know it's coming, but they're just powerless to stop it. What a great run there to start the drive. And you can bet there'll be more where that came from as they try to ice this game away.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now here's another carry for Harris. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. On the give, this is Harris.
And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line.
And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left.
5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on first down.
Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They run with Harris. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
On 3rd down, Woody.
And he is going to have a first down here, and that should be the one that seals a victory.
It's a pickup of 5, and that should just about wrap this one up.
First and goal at the 7-yard line.
They'll go ahead and take the knee here, and the unbeaten season will continue.
Well, this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
And, Brandon, I think they're the type of team that just looked in the mirror and said, hey, ton of pressure on, but we're the type of team that can flat out handle it. They stood up with confidence, and made it happen for a victory.
So for Rio, the streak lives as they move to 13-0 now on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for our visitors, it's unfortunately more of the same as they'll fall to 3-10 on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.